Hi, and welcome to the Heart of a Perfectionist podcast. I'm your host, Tegan Thompson. I'm a book lover, a chocoholic, and an INTJ living in a world filled with extroverts. I made this podcast to share my experiences and struggles as an introverted perfectionist, and to bring the inner workings of an introvert's mind to introverts and extroverts alike. So grab a cup of tea and get comfortable. It's time to unmute. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Heart of a Perfectionist podcast. You've made it through the first week of 2022. Congratulations, everyone. I know for me personally, I was really excited to go into this year. It feels fresh, it feels new, and I'm really excited for what this year is going to bring. So, I just want to encourage you all to keep pushing and keep being consistent so that you can go and achieve all those goals you have set for yourself, and just motivate yourself to keep do those goals so that you can become the best version of yourself that you want to become. This is your year. I really believe that, and if you believe that and you live it, then it will come to fruition. So that's kind of how I'm going into this year. I'm thinking, this is my year. I'm gonna go and do the things that I've wanted to do for so long, and I'm gonna just go and smash those goals. So I hope you guys do those same things and you continue to go through the rest of this year with that mindset so that you can do that. This week we'll be talking about why you shouldn't compare your pain and your experiences to other people's pain and experiences. I think it's really important to learn to validate every single emotion and experience that you go through, just to kind of, remind yourself that you're important and that you are worthy of feeling the way that you feel in the situations you go through. Because I know that's really easy for us to compare ourselves to other people. I know I do it a lot, and other people probably do as well. I mean, we have social media where all you have to do is you go on your phone and you can see a bunch of people who are maybe really fit, or they're financially really well off, and they're in places where you wish you could be at, and it's really easy to just kind of compare yourself to other people. And we kind of also do it in a negative way, where we can look at a person's current or past situations that are more negative and say that they've had it worse than us, or they currently have it worse than us, or that they have a reason to feel the way they feel, or have the pain that they have because of the things they've gone through. And this thinking kind of really just invalidates your own emotions and your own experiences that you go through. Some phrases that I know personally I use a lot, and I've heard other people say these things as well, that really invalidate yourself, are things like, at least I don't have it as hard or as bad as so-and-so. Or it could be worse. Or I shouldn't feel this way. I just need to move on. I'm being dramatic. So-and-so wouldn't react this way. Stuff like that. And it's really, really hard, I know, to kind of catch yourself when you say these things, because you think, oh, I'm trying to help myself. But in reality, you should really try to stop saying these things, because they undermine your true experiences and your emotions that you feel and you go through personally. And honestly, it will only make you feel worse, because you're not allowing yourself to go through those emotions you have and to feel them and to acknowledge why you feel that way, right? So I'm just going to talk about a few reasons why you shouldn't compare your pain with other people. And the first thing is that everyone is different. So we can start with the fact that biologically everyone is different. Everyone has a different set of DNA, and no two people are alike. And so on that standpoint, you are completely different, right? But to kind of just put it into a little more perspective, if two people went through the exact same experience, they would feel differently about that experience, because everyone has different environments they've grown up in, and They have different people they've been surrounded by throughout their life and currently in their life. They have different cultures and different societal norms that they grew up in. And all of these things contribute to how you experience different situations. So it's really important to factor in that, you're not the same as that other person going through that experience, and you guys are not going to feel the same way about those experiences. You're not going to have the same reactions, the same emotions to those experiences, right? Another thing is that everyone goes through different experiences. So even little things like the timing in which you experience a situation, or the location it happens at, or the people who are involved in the situation, your mood during the situation, other people's moods during the situation, and your past experiences that you've gone through, they all impact the way that you will experience your different situations and your difficult situations. So no two people have the exact same parameters surrounding their situations, right? You're not gonna be at the same place at the same time, the same people involved, feeling the same mood, with the same past experiences, right? Like, no two people are gonna have those exact same things happening. So everyone will always have different experiences because of this. I kind of want to just give a kind of a short, simple example of losing your job. So you could have person A who loses their job, and they're healthy, they're financially well off, right? Maybe they have a partner or family member who they can depend on because they also have a job and they make enough money. So they feel like they're pretty safe right now, and that losing this job isn't going to hurt them as much, and that they're really excited for the future because maybe they have new opportunities that they've been looking forward to, and this kind of just jump-started it for them. On the other hand, you have person B. Person B is has just had maybe themselves or a family member who had to go to the hospital and have a surgery, and now they are left with a really big medical bill they have to pay, and they just lost their job, and they're not going to feel the same way as person A, even if it's the same job they lost, right? Because they're in a situation where they're like, I need money to pay off these medical bills. I'm in a bad situation now because of this. And so you have two very different emotions and reactions to these same situation, but because of their background and their past experiences, they have different emotions towards that experience, right? Another thing is that everyone needs validation. Other people's pain should not and does not invalidate your own pain. I think that's so important to keep in mind. Like I said, people are going to go through their own and different situations, and they might look harder. And can your situation always be worse? Yes, of course it can always be worse. I feel like you can't really be in the worst situation. And there will always be something that could make your situation worse, right? But that does not mean that your experience isn't hard or difficult. It doesn't mean that that experience doesn't hurt you. And most importantly, that does not mean that you shouldn't feel your emotions that you have towards that situation, right? You should make sure that you're acknowledging those feelings and recognizing them, because otherwise they just get bottled up, right? Which kind of brings me into my last point, which is everyone deserves help. And I think it's really important to address the pain and the emotions you feel towards difficult situations so that you can heal and you can grow. If you just let those emotions bottle up and they kind of build up inside of you, first thing, they got to come out at some point. It may not be now, it may not be in 3 months, it may not be in 3 years. It could be 10 years down the line and you just have like a major explosion of all these feelings and you're like, what the heck? Where did those come from? Well, it's from all the times you decided not to feel those emotions and experience the pain that you were going through, because it just built up over time. Whereas if you take your experience in the situation you currently are going through and you take it in stride and you seek out help, whether that be family or friends, co-workers, peers, a therapist, a counselor, a religious leader, whoever, or just maybe like online material as well. If you seek out that help and you kind of learn from the experience and you understand why you felt the way you felt, and you can heal like that pain and those negative emotions you have towards that experience and grow from it, you can become stronger and kind of learn how you work and how you handle situations for the future, right? So kind of takeaway point of this is like, just don't compare what you feel about a specific situation to other people, because no one's the same. No one's going to have the same emotions or the same experiences. And even if we did have the same emotions and experiences, that doesn't mean that what you are feeling isn't worth seeking out help, isn't worth talking about, isn't worth validating. Okay? You are worth all the validation and you are worth all the love that you should seek out when you are going through a difficult situation, no matter how difficult it may be. So thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Heart of a Perfectionist podcast. If you enjoyed this episode or if you learned anything new, please go share it with a friend. And as always, have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys again next week on the Heart of a Perfectionist podcast.